What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, the show where we discuss trending news and thought-provoking topics from the fields of politics, sports, pop culture, and so much more. Look, I'm so excited to be chopping it up with you here on this awesome day. I hope you all are doing great. This show is brought to you by Rugged Evolution Beer Care. Rugged is the new smooth, and also shout out to another great supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show, Ingenious Gin. That's right, Ingenious Gin. They're a black-owned, veteran-owned gin, rose gold gin, okay? And they are awesome. Please grab yourself a bottle today. It's an intelligent spin on the original gin infused with the absolute best and natural ingredients to create a smooth taste for the gin explorer and gin connoisseur. I'm telling you right now, this is the gin of thinkers. For more information about Ingenious Gin, go to their website, ingeniousgin.com, so you can find out where you can grab a bottle of this amazing gin. I've already cracked open a little sip myself. I tell you, it's awesome. So be sure to support it and get yourself a bottle of Ingenious Gin. Look, y'all, got a lot of stuff we're going to be chopping up here on the show today. Want to discuss about this story that occurred at NPR. Everybody enjoys NPR news, NPR radio. If you read their articles, they've been a very well respected and trusted, news source for many, many years. But they recently made some headlines because one of their editors, senior editors actually, had written about I criticized in one of his op-eds that the company is very biased, is very liberal bias, meaning that majority of the staff and writers and what they talk about is catering to one side of the aisle politically, and it should be balanced, just the way I always say when it comes to news in general. You need to have a very balanced platform, and not just, okay, we're just going to continue to choose this one side of things. You gotta make it balanced. So I'm gonna speak on his name is Yuri Berliner. Yes, I'm gonna speak about that. Also, current President Joe Biden received a huge endorsement. It's a win for him and might be the biggest L for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's running as an independent on the third party. And also, I'm going to talk about the WNBA, the pay gap, right? We continue to speak on that and repeat this conversation a lot because it has been a long-going issue since, honestly, the existence of the WNBA. And so we will be going around and kind of I'll share my thoughts on it. Please leave a comment at the bottom if you're watching this on YouTube, on our channel, our Smooth Club Media. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, the like button. I truly appreciate it. Well, let's get it going. Let's get it going with the first story. I've spoken about the editor over at NPR. Let me go ahead and bring that up for you guys. Give me 1 second. All right, so while that's coming up, I want to bring it a little up about this. So after he had spoken about his employer, he had got suspended. He got suspended from the job, and then he's claiming that, you know what, I will be resigning because after the suspension, obviously they don't care about my viewpoint and opinion, and I've been here for many, many years. So let me read a little bit more about this. So Yuri Berliner, a senior editor at National Public Radio, who had been suspended from his job after claiming the network had lost America's trust by pushing progressive views while suppressing dissenting opinions, said he is resigning from the broadcaster. I am resigning from NPR, a great American institution where I have worked for 25 years, he wrote in his resignation letter to NPR CEO Catherine Marr. and which he posted in part on X, the former Twitter. I cannot work in a newsroom where I am disparaged by have a pop-up hope. There we go. Disparaged by a new CEO whose divisive views confirm the very problems at NPR I cite in my free press essay. Okay, keyword free press essay. He then went on to explain again his frustration. So I mean, I'm assuming CEO Catherine Marr has not been there forever during his tenure there. And obviously, when you have a new person in charge, they would like to change the rules, do some things when it comes to how can we adjust, how can we continue to get more eyes and listeners, and what can we do to. We're always worrying about the profit more than the purpose, in a sense, and the message. Berliner's resignation comes 8 days after he published an essay in the Free Press that caused a firestorm of debate with his allegations that NPR was suppressing dissenting voices. In response to his critiques, some conservatives, including former President Donald Trump, called on the governments to defund the organization. Marr, who became NPR's CEO in March of this year, wrote a staff memo a few days after publication of Berliner's essay, addressing his criticism of the organization's editorial process. Now, among Berliner's claim are the NPR is failing to consider other viewpoints, and that it is fixated on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Questioning whether our people are serving our mission with integrity based on little more than the recognition of their identity is profoundly disrespectful, hurtful, and demanding. I cannot pronounce that word right now. It's been a while since I've been in school, y'all. Don't judge me. Demoning. There we go. Demoning. Good Lord, I couldn't get it out. Honestly, I'm not going to read the full, but I'm on the side of Berliners. Now, guys, when it comes to politics, I lied in the middle. I'm not married to any party. I am, I'm not a full-on conservative. I'm not a full-on liberal. I'm in between. I voted for, when it comes to state and local elections, I vote on, both sides. I vote on person, not party. Now, voting on the presidential circuit, I have voted most of the time for on the Democratic side. But I am a registered independent. And I'm also a big advocate when it comes to, free speech, when it comes to, as long as it doesn't promote hate speech. But when it comes to news, you have to have balanced perspectives, balanced voices. I'm not crazy about news where I'm only going to get one viewpoint. Okay, now I watch them all. I watch Fox News, I watch CNN, I watch MSNBC. What's another one? I watch the Young Turks. I watch the Daily Wire. I watch Salem News Channel. I've checked out Newsmax. I love News Nation. I watch Roland Martin Unfiltered. I watch and I listen to I listen to all perspectives, right? But when it comes to making sure that you are not providing just a one view, because you have to realize we live in a universal world. Everybody has different perspectives. So when I heard about him sharing, and I thought it was dope, because the fact matters, he talked about his employer, he criticized them, and he got away with it. Kudos. But here's where the issue comes into play, because his story should have been more of somewhat of a calm protest, saying, look, let's have some diversity. Okay, I remember them there was I was listening to an interview, I was watching an interview Berliner had with News Nation's Chris Cuomo, and before Chris Cuomo brought him on, they went over like a statistic showing that I believe the past writers that either been hired or recently, it's like 87-0, 87 Democrats, 0 Republicans, or 87 conservatives, 87 liberals, 0 conservatives. And that's not, to me, that's unfair. That's unfair because I want to hear voices from all sides of the aisle. So again, I feel as though the CEO should have been like, look, I hear you. They are, for one thing, I know they do probably employee surveys. They got to. They always ask, okay, what can we do to do better? What can now, instead of doing a private survey, he did it publicly. Now, was he getting punished because was it somewhat embarrassing for the company? Because a lot of people started to criticize. But the people that were criticizing were conservatives. This story came out in the right time, because with former President Donald Trump being in court with all these indictments, he's always firing out, saying, hey, look, this is the witch hunt that I'm talking about. Everybody is against me, the media, the this, the that. And see, even look at NPR. They strictly don't hire conservatives, so they're only going to be getting bad things said about me and this and that and the other. But on the business aspect of it, you just can't think that you cannot publicly and openly criticize your boss and your company that you work for, your employer, not your company, but your employer, and think that you can get away with it, or think that's going to be easy. Okay. And I think that's why it was quick for Berliner to resign after the 25 years, because it took him after 8 days of being suspended, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna resign. This is not for me. And trust me, man's gonna get another job somewhere. He might work at a strictly more conservative circuit. He might get a job working for another publication, another broadcast. Trust me, he is gonna be fine. He might start a podcast. You never know. But he is gonna be a-okay. He's gonna be a-okay. But y'all, if y'all haven't heard too much about this, please look it up right now. There's many news sources that has reported on this. Of course, social media, you can come across it. Berliner, or I think it's Uri, 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 Berliner. And you type in NPR and you can read more about this story. But I thought it was interesting because it brings the conversation of once again the freedom of speech, freedom of press, all just basically sharing your opinion without being criticized, sharing your viewpoint without being punished. We can go back to what's the man's name? Don Lemon, right? Don Lemon thought he had it made as far as, look, I got a new project going on. I started on a media company. I got a new show. I got what's the gentleman's name? Elon Musk on the program. I'm going to be doing some exclusive content with them, this and that and the other. Yeah, that didn't last long. Like, that didn't last long at all. They ripped up that, disagreement. Elon did. But hey, Don's doing this thing. Don's still very successful. He received a $25 million settlement from CNN, just the remainder of his contract. His show is good numbers. I mean, as a public figure, I mean, he obviously should be, seeing the numbers he is on his YouTube. It could be a lot higher. I will say they could be a lot higher. The last time I checked, I mean, I think he might be well over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But when it comes to, I guess, sharing your view, y'all just can't, y'all got to anticipate, the pushback. You have to. So I just wanted to bring that up, y'all. Share my view on that story. We're going to do a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I will be discussing the women's pay wage gap when it comes to WNBA compared to the NBA. So we're going to do a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll come back with some more good stuff here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere and do not change that dial. What's going on, people? Okay, check this out. So, um, recently, they had the WNBA draft, which was the most watched draft for them since. They hit record numbers. I'll tell you that they were about a little over 2 million viewers had watched this past draft. I believe the draft before that was like a half a million. Okay, so definitely very watched, very anticipated WNBA draft. As you know, really women's sports, especially women's basketball on a college level, have been, making headlines like crazy on a good side. Um, you had that during March Madness. It was the most watched uh championship game. It was actually, they beat the numbers from the men by a landslide. It was a great tournament. Caitlin Clark became a sensation, or still is a sensation. Of course, Angel Reese is very well respected, and it was just a dope. Just has been a dope, interesting. What's the word I'm looking for? Interesting journey, seeing these girls continue to grow their brands, grow their fame. Of course, they're extremely talented when it comes to the sport that they play, but also we want to see them get that money, because you know that there is a huge pay gap when it comes to the NBA, the men's professional basketball league, and the WNBA. For example, the highest paid right now, currently, the highest paid WNBA player, I believe, is making like, I'm gonna say 260K a year. All right, 260K a year. The veteran minimum in the NBA currently, right now, making about $1.5 million, maybe $2 million. I'll bring another example. So recently, okay, Caitlin Clark, her rookie contract, it says she will pocket $338,056 over 4 years under her rookie contract with the Indiana Fever, which she was drafted at number 1. Caitlin Clark out of Indiana, out of Iowa. Um, Now, compare that with last year's number 1 NBA draft pick, which secured a $55 million contract for 4 years. Now, I can hear everybody saying this is so unfair. Why is this still happening? This is the whole mistreatment when it comes to women in the workplace, women's sports. And I totally agree. I'm a huge advocate. I believe when you have that term professional in front of your title, then you need to be making, especially as an athlete, you need to be making professional money. Okay? You need to make some professional money. But that's just I'll say the liberal side in me, right? Okay, that's the side that I'm like, look, I'm team for this. I'm pro WNBA. Pay them, give them all the money that they deserve, because the way that they've been playing, the numbers that they bring on TV, and all these other companies, look, give them their money, right? Now, I'm not surprised on why they make this money. I still don't think it's fair, but it's no surprise, because you got to look at it like this, y'all. Ticket sales, for one, when it comes to women's WNBA pro games, have, and compared to an NBA game, their attendance rates are very low. Mostly, not all, but mostly they're very low. Also, they don't have the TV contracts like the WNBA has. They don't get the prime time slots like the NBA has and gets. Now, I think what's interesting is that a lot of the NBA owners, they also own the WNBA. So you would think, okay, if I own these two franchises, don't I want the equal amount of promotion with with my brands? Don't I want to bring in as many attendance, as many seats field as the NBA game. Like I don't understand. But I mean, there's times, guys, I don't even know that the WNBA finals is on. It'll be on like around lunchtime. I'm like, why is this game on? Why is the playoffs games on at like 12:30, 1 o'clock p.m. 1 p.m. and during a weekday? Like, what in the world? Sometimes it's on channels that no one really tunes into. Um when it comes to what to expect in a WNBA game, and this is not me taking a shot at WNBA sports. I'm just sharing I'm just sharing what I hear amongst conversations, say at the barbershop, or if I talk with amongst other people, men and women. It's just they don't get the right excitement they do like what they get in an NBA field. But I look at it differently. I'm like, hey, look, both of them are athletes. You watch a competition, you watch two teams compete to win. All right. Caitlin Clark just really, broke out because she was almost like the Steph Curry of the league, man. She was shooting so far from the three until it was unreal. And she was banking them. I'm talking scoring 40 plus points. Now is she gonna be like that in the WNBA? We don't know. But right now, she's the number one pick. I think most likely she will continue that streak of talent that she did over at University of Iowa. But a cool thing is I recently read that she has signed a 8-figure deal with Nike. So clap it up for her. As well as made a lot of money on NIL. I know Angel Reese out of LSU, she made over 2 million plus in NIL. She was recently seen front row at a Knicks game. I mean, so they're getting their money on the outside of the NBA, when it comes to their endorsement deal, which is great. Now, are these deals the same amount of or anywhere close to what NBA players make? That I don't know. Probably not. But they should. I feel as though that the WNBA should be making not the same as the men, but at least be in the millions. This whole talk about ain't like her rookie contract. I'm talking about Caitlin Clark. It says here her base salary will be $76,000 in the first year. $76,000. If I bust my ass since I was a kid to play on the professional level and probably even make the Olympic team, and you're telling me I made it this far to make $76,000, okay? The endless practices, the travel, and did school, and I'm making $76,000. That's when I have an issue, and it's very unfair. And we should continue to express and fight. But ladies, I would also say this: you all have to. You are the biggest consumers in America, in the world. Okay, you are the largest consumers. And with my company, most women buy from me, and my companies cater to men, but most women buy. Women, y'all have to. And here's the thing too: more women go to NBA games than WNBA games. That is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. They go to more NBA games than WNBA games. Now, those same women cannot be the ones that are protesting, saying it's unfair how much they're getting paid. Look, y'all need to fill up those seats nonstop on a regular basis, okay? Y'all gotta fill up those stadiums on a regular. Kudos to the Las Vegas Aces. They're always I never seen them with a half empty arena or during their games. They continue to sell out. Their owner is I think Al Davis Jr., owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. You have to support. You have to, and that's going to be the big thing. What's going to be some of the solutions to grow the salaries in the WNBA? I'm curious. I'm so curious. Let's see here. It's saying, okay, Caitlin in her fourth year, she'll have a fourth year option of $97,000, 97,582. Um, I'm just reading up some more. Yeah, this is it's just it's unfortunate. I want to speak on something that Hoda Hoda from the Today Show. I heard her last name is Kotb. Hoda Copy. Hoda Copy. Hoda, I'll just say Hoda. Hoda, host of NBC's Today Show, said Tuesday morning, they've already sold out games. She had the highest ratings. Her teams and the Final Four had the highest ratings, higher than the World Series, higher than the NBA. So I was like, what is she going to get paid? What is she going to get paid? Because finally, you can get a real paycheck. Then I saw it and was like, this can't be right. But it's very true. It's very true. What was actually trending, Ice Cube, owner of, the famous rapper, mogul, media mogul, businessman Ice Cube. He's also the founder and owner of the Big Three competitions where you get past pro players from that played in Europe and the NBA. They play basically a 3-on-3 half court, and it's dope. I've always enjoyed watching it, and it's been going on for quite a long time. There was rumors that he offered her $5 million to come play in the Big Three. She'll be the first woman ever to compete in the Big Three. But everybody already knew, like, nah, she's not going to do that. Your goal is to play in the WNBA. That's the highest level when it comes to professional women's basketball. But she's not going to do that. Now I'm going to tell you right now, y'all know me. I'm a money whore. I'm going where I can get paid. I'm already a star. They still see me, shoot and all that good stuff. Now, maybe if I was a girl, would the guys ease up on me? And that's probably why people would probably they just gotta let her shoot this and that. Or you never know. You never know. It'll be cool to see. But I would definitely consider it. Okay. Because you gotta look at it. Brittany Griner. The reason why Brittany Griner was locked up, well, not the reason, but she went to Russia because that's where she got paid the most to provide for her family. She wasn't making money in the WNBA, and she's one of the best players, most notarized WNBA players today in the league. And she went over. She got paid the most overseas, so she goes to Russia because she was on the Russian team. And of course, the story. They found a vape pen or something like that, and they had her basically kidnapped or hostage, in their prison in Russia. She didn't have to go there in the first place if she didn't get the right paycheck and treatment here in the WNBA. I mean, you look at the world. I'm changing sports, but you look at the women's world, the World Cup soccer team or the U.S. Women's soccer team, and they fly coach when the men fly first class. The women are back-to-back World Cup champs, okay? Gold medal. The guys ain't win shit. Excuse my French, but they haven't won one, but they get the top of the line treatment. They get championship treatment. It's not fair. It's not fair. And it should be dealt with. And I hope to God that the organization, the WNBA, and just other companies continue to invest in the WNBA, and hopefully they can continue to just raise more revenue and capital and sell tickets. I just want to see these ladies get paid fairly. Okay, this is not a fair wage for a professional athlete, in my opinion. They need to be making out. If I'm just saying, I would like to see the veteran minimum in the WNBA at least at, I don't know, 600,000. 600,000. If you can at least shoot it up to there I'm talking about the veteran minimum. I want to see contracts in the millions. Okay, I want to see them contracts in the millions, high six figures. Mid, at least. I want to see them get paid. I'm not going to give specific numbers. I don't want to, again, I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just saying, as what in compared to what you have now. But y'all, I'm gonna digress on this convo and close up the show with I like to talk more with politics. Joe Biden recently received a very big endorsement, and it was none other than the royal family themselves. No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the royal family in England, with Prince Harry and Meghan and William and all of them. No, I am talking about the Kennedys. That's right. I'm talking about the Kennedys, the also popular Democratic family. You see the whole family right there. I don't know if you can see that. I think that's a picture from St. Patty's Day that they took. This picture is from an article on with Axios. Biden is right there in the right at the lowest point on taking a knee. But he received an endorsement by the Kennedy family. Now I'm reading a report right now by ABC News. It said Biden encountered to RFK Jr. gets endorsement of other Kennedy family members. President Biden wrapped up a 3-day Pennsylvania campaign swing in Philadelphia on Thursday with an endorsement by 15 members of the political famous Kennedy family, a counter to the political threat from RFK Jr. Now, Carrie Kennedy, a daughter of former Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, who is a sister of RFK Jr., joined Biden along with some of her relatives and said another Donald Trump presidency would horrify her father. We can say today with no less urgency that our rights and freedoms are once again in peril. Carrie Kennedy said during one of Biden's campaign events in Philadelphia. That is why we all need to come together in a campaign that should unite not only Democrats, but all Americans, including Republicans and independents who believe in the Lincoln called the better angels of our nature. Now, the interesting thing is, again, 15 Kennedys, which there's, I mean, that's just a little small number. There's tons of Kennedys. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a big family, but is this kind of a kick in the face or in the heart and the gut to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? Again, that's his sister that is not going to be endorsing. But I think there's hatred in the family? No. Do I think there's tension in the family? Maybe, because when it comes on the political scene, they probably would have loved for him to be just a part of it and maybe even stay as a Democrat. Now, that's the question to ask. If Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would have stayed on the Democratic ticket, would they have endorsed Robert F. Kennedy? That's a very big question right there. I'm not gonna lie, in my opinion, I don't dislike Robert F. Kennedy. I enjoy him. Is giving me good options. I have a thought of even leaning towards him on the presidential race, because again, I'm just not really keen on both candidates that are the more talked about ones in current President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking about RFK. I read his information and stuff. I like to really research on my candidates when it comes. And I believe you should too, as well, on a local, state, and the whole 9 yards. But I just thought this was interesting because the Kennedys are a very prominent Democratic family, and they're very supportive amongst each other. Now, as far as the non-Democrat thing about RFK that everybody continues to always bring up is his stance on COVID, on the stance on vaccines. He's a conspiracy theorist when it comes to the vaccines and COVID and all, and he's very vocal about it, no hesitation. That's what some, probably a good number of conservatives love about him. Also, Kennedy is a person that doesn't shy away from speaking on all outlets. He spoke on a lot of strong far right conservative outlets, and he leaves, shaking hands. Hey, that we appreciate you coming. Because let's be honest, at least he's doing it. At least people look, when it comes to, if you're an extremist on either side of the aisle, you're not going to go to like have a conversation with somebody that most likely you do not agree with. Okay, but here's the thing: y'all might disagree with 20% of stuff and agree on 80% of the stuff. Y'all might agree half and half, or disagree on 50% of the things and agree on the other 50. You just never know. But there's been a lot of people publicly that has endorsed RFK. I know I've looked on his platforms. He has a campaign group called Blacks for Kennedys. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not crazy about when candidates have certain movements or groups within their campaigns. Hey, blacks for, I'm not crazy about that. It's just it. Hey, I'll vote for you. Just say, hey, just a vote for Kennedy or something. But sometimes it always looks like weird. Like, I don't know. It just looks weird to me. But he's got some very big endorsement deals. Even Rob Snyder publicly is endorsing Robert F. Kennedy Jr., comedian, actor, Rob Snyder, who is a Republican, leans conservative, but he's gonna be voting for him. And I'm like, hey, that's pretty dope. I actually recently I saw a Rob Snyder comedy show over here in Virginia, and yeah, you can definitely tell his views in his in his stand up. Like, it was some stuff I'm like, oh, but when you make stuff into a joke, I'm just a fan of the art of comedy, so I can see anybody, people that hell, if Trump was a comedian, he made some good jokes, I'd be like, hey, it was funny. I give credit what credit's due. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up this conversation, bring up this story, because I thought it was quite trending and big in the political world. But please, continue to tune into these elections. There's local ones happening too, and there are of course the presidential one is a big talked about election that's occurring. Please read up on your candidates, share it with your friends and families on the vote. For those who are saying, I don't even know if I am gonna vote, please don't think like that, because every vote matters, y'all. Every vote matters. It's very important. It's your it's your right as a U.S. citizen to vote, and you should do so. But guys, I'm gonna close it up. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, man. Look, I'm about to hit a brewery with a buddy of mine, with one of my best friends since we were in third grade, and I'm gonna have a good time. We're just gonna chop it up. I'll talk to him about what does he think about the pay gap between the WNBA and the NBA. But until next time, y'all, please be sure to tune in to the Arrington Gavin Show every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can listen to our podcast version at the new episodes will drop at 10 a.m. Wherever you listen to your podcast, whether that's iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. Also, you can watch the video version at 5 p.m. That's when those drop on those exact same days, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 5 p.m. on our YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media. Let's see, R Smooth Club Podcast on Facebook, R Smooth Club Media on X, as well as you can watch reruns every Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. on ESPTV. That's right, ESPTV on Facebook, ErnestSmithProductions.com on those days, 7 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. And you can also check out, we're working on a website for our show right here. And we continue to grow, man. We continue to grow. Oh, and also tune into my weekly radio show, Our Smooth Club Presents in Your City, hosted by yours truly, along with my good friends, comedian Ciroc Fox, Hustle Queen Miss Michelle Young, and also we got to acknowledge our awesome production team, producer Cam Godley, as well as our camera guy, Mr. Alvin Hunter. Very fortunate, very blessed. We got a lot of great things in store for you guys. And I just hope to continue to give you guys some great content, great conversation. Share with a friend, like, subscribe, follow me on social medias, all that good stuff. Until next time, y'all be easy, stay blessed, and I will talk to you next time.